If I told you the PlayStation 1 had a decent racing game, you'd probably think I was on something. But it's true. The PlayStation 1 does have a decent racing game. This is All-Star Racing, released in 2002, well after the PlayStation 2 was out. This game packs 4 game modes, 12 cars, and 9 or so tracks into one. From classic cars and supercars to stock cars and sports cars. 3 per mode and 3 tracks per mode, though some are shared between each race type.
I'd buy that for $1.
We'll start with Supercar Challenge mode. The cars you can select are the Pina 238, which controls very well, the Fenzo 500, which is the worst controlling car of this mode, then the Manelli 748, which is the mixed bag car. The 3 tracks are Garrett Hills, which is the least enjoyable with all the sharp turns. Next is Forest Valley, who hosts lots of long turns. Finally, we have Murren Ridge, not being much better with narrow roadways. This was the first mode I played, and at first I thought the game was awful, as I didn't understand the controls too well, and the car I chose was the worst option. But hey, they never displayed any stats to tell me the cars handled differently, so I just chose which one I liked more by appearance. Big mistake, like dating back in high school was.
Come again.
The controls are basic, but be careful which car you choose. The purple one was not the best choice, the Fenzo 500 as it was called. So you use X to accelerate, circle for reverse, square for brake, L2 for camera switching with close, far, and first person view. But the first person view is just in front of the car and not inside, which I get given the time period it came out in and all, but I hate that view option. The D-pad or left analog stick is for steering, and that's it. Start to pause and whatnot. As for which is better, I found the D-pad to work best with all cars in comparison to the analog stick, which is usually the norm with the PlayStation 1. Developers could never nail smooth controls with the analog sticks till the PlayStation 2 era of games.
You know it, I know it, everybody knows it.
I was intrigued by the idea of classic car racing. You have the Stalwart, which controls the best, the Belling V2, which is the worst, which of course it is, it's the clown car in American Circus for crying out loud, with the last option being the SK MK2. Didn't use that one as I didn't enjoy this mode, yet that name sounds more like a firearm than a car model. I mean, SK MK2, really, that's a gun, not a car. The mode turned out to be meh, as the tracks were the same as Supercar mode, and the cars themselves were not that very interesting to me. I mean, unless you like these British looking boomer cars, then sure, this mode is for you, but the handling and selection of vehicles didn't interest me, nor make for an enjoyable experience. So yes, we're going back to complaining about how the game ain't great.
Ah boy, here we go.
Now we're getting into more American style racing, at least what's more popular here versus Europe and Japan and the like. This being Stock Car Frenzy. 3 cars are the Champ Team Stock Car, again controls the best, with the last 2 being the File Team Stock Car and SPD Team Stock Car. Thankfully, unlike Classic Car Mode, Stock Car Frenzy features its own set of tracks, with Boeming Raceway, Milton Race Circuit, and Anniston Runway. Basically, this mode is NASCAR without the licensed stuff included. All that's missing is the Magic Carpet Ride and Pit Stop Crew. This mode is very fast and pretty smooth. I enjoyed this one more than Super and Classic modes, that's for sure. The last mode is Sport Car Racing, all the fancy stuff like Porsche, Mustang, and Ferrari. We have the GTR2R, CRX2, and GSX for cars. The tracks are Iona Speedway, Boulder Raceway, and Hampton Race Circuit. This mode is very fast, very challenging, and tons of fun. I was sharp turning like crazy and trying to keep my car from hitting the walls. It was a mix of smooth and tankish with the GSX car. I can only imagine things would be better on the speedway instead of the raceway track. Overall a fun mode, though I do prefer the stock car one, only because it reminded me of the old NASCAR games for PlayStation and Daytona USA. One thing I want to mention before we get to the score though, is there's no music in game, at least from what I heard. It was weird and the car audio is not pleasant to listen to. Make sure you turn the game down and turn on some Daytona USA for a more enjoyable experience. Your ears will thank you. At the end of the day, I do recommend All-Star Racing for the PlayStation 1. It's simple fun, and unlike racing from the Simple series, offers more content and quality. The controls took a bit to get used to, but in turn were quite enjoyable. Outside of the Fenzo 500 car, that is. The tracks were decent, with the best being the raceway and speedway tracks, and stock car and GT racing modes respectively. If you find yourself a copy, give it a shot. Anyways, that's it for this video. See you all later. After enjoying All-Star Racing, I was surprised to find out there's a sequel, but unlike the first game, this one is just worse in every way imaginable, from worse controls to more annoying audio, and of course, just not that fun overall of an experience. Whoever thought go-karts, your winter trucks, banshee screeching cars, and the worst controlling bikes imaginable was a good idea for a game, should be forced to commit seppuku. Yep, we're back to negativity, folks. Missed it? I know you did, cause negative reviews do better than the positive ones, so you only have yourself to blame and the YouTube algorithm.
No! No!
The game is yet another compilation of 4 different kinds of racing, with bikes, go-karts, F1 cars, and trucks, each one featuring 5 recolors of the same vehicle model and 5 tracks. There's no variation of models this time around, it's just lazy recolors. Also, each one handles vastly different, and in turn, all of them just suck. The bikes are the worst, as they can't handle sharp turns, which is stupid cause the tracks are just sharp turns for this mode. So after barely able to hold back my bipolar rage, I switched over to go-karts, hoping it would at least be fun, but nope, the go-karts are just about as functional as your iron lung grandmother is at the Karma Sutra. So I went ahead and tried the Formula 1 race mode, and of course the cars are not good with handling and the tracks don't feel designed for them. Oh, and the audio for the cars, pure nails on a chalkboard, like, good God. So I skipped ahead to the final mode, truck. You just race trucks. They're generic Japanese trucks, with their obnoxious size getting in the way of the camera, and their handling being worse than the F1 cars, go-karts, and bikes combined. Like, how do you make such bad driving mechanics? That's the key to any racing game, good driving. If you can't do that, then don't make a fucking racing game, for fuck's sake. At the end of the day, All-Star Racing 2 is just a pitiful sequel to a much better game. While the first All-Star Racing has its flaws, the first game offers better quality over its sequel, which isn't how sequels are supposed to work, but alas, it is what it is. If you're looking for an average and yet enjoyable racing compilation for the PlayStation 1, you should give All-Star Racing 1 a fair shot. Just avoid its sequel. Anyways, that's it for this video. My head hurts from playing all these awful games. I need an aspirin.